Hi, and welcome back to my channel. ChatGPT just released a remarkable new upgrade. Now, we've been working with ChatGPT 3.0, 4.0 over the last year or so. They've just released ChatGPT 0.1. They've started the numbering cycle back at 1 because it's such a revolutionary improvement. Now, most of the improvement relies around what they refer to as reasoning and focuses on computer code, physics, mathematics, other sciences. And the reasoning is really a remarkable upgrade. Previously, the former versions of ChatGPT just did a single pass. Essentially, it predicted the response to a prompt based upon a single solution, a single algorithm, if you will. Now, ChatGPT 0.1 does this with what I refer to as a multi-pass solution, where it comes up with multiple answers and then negotiates with itself as to which is the best answer to provide. So you get essentially a composite of various good answers into what I think is really, quite honestly, a great answer. Now, there are two versions of 0.1 that are available. First is the Premier version. It's the full version, but it's still in testing in beta mode. And there is a ChatGPT 0.1 mini version. So you can use either 3.0, I'm not sure who would want to do that today, or 4.0. And that's probably what most people are accustomed to using. You can use ChatGPT 0.1 Premier, which is sort of their full-blown version, or 0.1 Mini, which is a lighter version of 0.1. We're going to test those last three, 4.0, 0.1 Premier, and 0.1 Mini, and see which one gives us the best results, specifically around writing a business plan. Hi, I'm Steve Murphy. I'm a vice president at ARG and an AI consultant. While I work for ARG, this video is my own and does not represent the views or opinions of my employer. This channel is dedicated to helping small business owners and individuals stay up to date and leverage AI solutions to help them grow, both in their careers as an individual and for small business owners, helping them grow their business and compete with larger organizations. Now, an individual may not be writing a business plan, something that a small business would generally do, unless that individual wanted to start a small business. So what I've done is I've designed a prompt that I put into the three versions of ChatGPT. As I mentioned, we're going to look at 4.0, which was the former version that was available up until just a few weeks ago. 0.1, which Premier, which is the new version, full version, and 0.1 Mini, which is the light version of the new version. We're going to use a single prompt. This prompt actually is not engineered very well for the 4.0 model. You're going to see when I show it to you that it's kind of a light prompt, if you will. It doesn't go into much detail, which 4.0 really does benefit from. But I wanted to have a standard test, and most users of ChatGPT, quite honestly, are not great prompt engineers. So I wanted to have one that was a reasonable prompt that anyone might come up with that doesn't have specific prompt engineering training. So here's the prompt that I'm using in this test. Write a business plan to start a business from scratch. The business will be an artificial intelligence agency or a company that helps businesses implement AI solutions. The startup capital available is $5,000, and there's a single employee or founder that can spend 20 hours per week on the business until they make enough money to work full-time. A valid strategy may be to hire more junior employees before the founder joins the company full-time. Provide a startup plan that extends over the next 2 years, include financial projections, and document all assumptions. So that's the prompt that I put in all three of these ChatGPTs, and the results are actually super interesting. So after I put that in, each one, I put it into a Word document just to make it a little bit more readable. So this is the result of the ChatGPT 4.0 prompt that I just read to you. So AI solution agency, find business concept, executive summary, blah, 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 5,000 per recurring client, expanding to 15,000 in monthly recurring revenue in the second year. That's an important assumption, so I'm glad that they're documenting that. Business goes into some business structures, target markets, small, medium businesses, which is fine. Industries with immediate AI applications. I'm gonna focus on this for just a moment because this is actually a pretty big difference between the responses. This ChatGPT 4.0 version provides various verticals that you might target with the use cases. Predictive analytics for retail, with regard to inventory management. On the finance side, fraud detection and automated financial insights. On the healthcare side, AI for patient data and analytics. And then for a logistics company, AI for supply chain optimization. All good. Elements, competitor analysis, a marketing plan, which includes a customer acquisition strategy. I can't tell you how many small businesses start without a true customer acquisition strategy. This is really the most important piece. So in that strategy, it talks about networking and referrals, content marketing, being active on social media, and forming partnerships with other businesses. Not a bad plan, but one that most people don't understand, and nor do they understand the level of effort that's required to execute on something like that. Sales strategy. You have an initial consultation, and then it's recommending that you also offer service packages for ongoing support. That's where you get the recurring revenue, also referred to as a subscription-based model. And that's really where we want to go. We don't want to have to continually sell new stuff all the time. So I like that they automatically included a subscription-based model. Your operating plan, a couple things there, very, very high level, by the way, in terms of operating plan for years 1 and 2, some financial information, little bit of a revenue projection by month, which is nice. So listing out some of the revenue assumptions and 2-year projections, which is all fine. One of the things I want to focus on here is these revenue forecasts at this point. Here you can see it's forecasting in year 1 revenue of $20,000. Probably fine. Starting a new business is not, a rocket ship. It's more of a marathon. So $20,000 in your first year is probably what you should expect. Here they're forecasting $120,000 in year 2. I personally think that's a little high. I don't know how you can really jump from $20,000 to $120,000 in the course of a year, especially if you're only doing this part-time. But let's see what else they include in their marketing plan. Some just key milestones. So months 1 through 3, months 3 through 6, 6 through 12, and then just kind of generically year 2. They do a quick risk assessment, talking about maybe possibility of budget overruns and so forth. And then they come up to a conclusion. So it's about a 4-page business plan, about 1,000 words. Not bad. I mean, we really don't care how long it is or how many words it takes, but it's a good framework. I don't know that I would actually launch a business using this business plan, but it's a good start. Let's take a look at what O1 Premier provides. This is the ChatGPT 01 Premier solution. And I'm not going to spend as much time going through this because, as you will notice, we've already seen a lot of this in the ChatGPT 4.0 solution or business plan that was constructed. There really isn't a lot of differences here, except one key difference that I'll point out in just a moment. So it goes through essentially the same structure, essentially the same information. Here, when it talks about target market, it just mentions the vertical markets that you might want to address: retail, healthcare, finance, manufacturing. It doesn't provide any use cases. I think the 4.0 version that did actually provide a couple use cases per vertical market was a lot more informative. It goes through the competitive analysis that we've seen before, services, offering, consulting, and this one includes data analysis and visualization. That's a new add, maybe very valuable. I'm not sure it's something that as an AI agency I'd want to get into sort of data analysis, but if you're going to try to implement an AI platform for an organization, you may have to get into the data. You may have to get into data sanitization and data governance and make sure that their data sources are tight and well defined and representative of the product or service at large. So not a bad include. I'm not sure I'd want to include that as a core service, but it may be something that you do that would be included in a standard statement of work. They talk about automation solutions and custom AI development. All good potential products and services for our new business. Marketing strategy, they talk about website, content marketing, networking, referral program. They include a referral program in this. 4.0 did not. I think a referral program is a pretty good idea for most small businesses. They did talk about networking in the other plan, but this one specifically is around referrals. And referrals can be a super effective, if maybe expensive way to launch a new business. And by expensive, I just mean you generally have to compensate your referral partner some way. So you're either sharing revenue or you're providing them some sort of referral bonus or something of that nature, unless it's just reciprocal and you're referring leads back and forth. But as a small business, it's very hard to have a reciprocal relationship like that. Sales strategy, we saw this before. Operating plan, months 1 through 3. 4 through 6, pretty much this goes into a little bit more detail than the previous operating plan that we saw, but not a ton. Year 2, same thing. I'm just going to kind of cruise through this. Management or organization. The founder and junior employees, so this one speaks specifically about obtaining junior employees. That was mentioned previously in the 4.0, but not in any great detail. Here's one thing I want you to notice, the financial plan. So I'm going to scroll down to the summary here where it talks about revenue projections. So year 1 revenue projection is $17,000. It's not too different from the $20,000 that we had in the 4.0 model. Year 2 revenue projection is $48,000. That's a big difference from the $120,000 revenue projection in the 4.0 result. I think this one's actually a lot more reasonable. As a startup, you probably want to be conservative rather than assume a very aggressive ramp in terms of your sales, so you can manage your cash flow appropriately. So that's one big difference. It's really the biggest difference here. Goes through potential risks, contingency plan, and so forth. So we saw all of this in the 4.0. So what I would suggest here, based upon these 2 results, is you might want to run your prompt through both platforms and compare, contrast, and combine the results from ChatGPT 4.0 and ChatGPT on Premier to get a more complete, though still rather thin, business plan. Okay, let's move on to the ChatGPT 01 mini solution. This was actually really surprising. The 01 mini solution actually looks a lot more like a business plan than either of the 2 other results. And this was supposed to be sort of the light version of the new model, but it actually gave me much more information and a much more comprehensive solution, much more comprehensive plan than the 01 Premier, as we'll see. So here's a nice table of contents, because this is actually a much longer document than previously generated by either of the other 2 platforms. Let's go into some of the detail. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through this, but this has a mission statement and a vision statement, something that you might want to consider. Most startups have a vision. Maybe they don't yet have a mission yet. That tends to come with some more maturity, but they generally understand what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. They go through some objectives, specific objectives for each year here in the summary. I think that was a nice value add. Description of the company, a market analysis. That was kind of very much the same as what they included in the previous versions. Market needs. This is a new area that wasn't included previously. Affordable AI solutions, customization, and expert guidance. I think those are 3 very salient needs of any marketplace trying to implement a new technology. The competitive analysis was pretty much standard across all of the versions that we got. Organizational management, pretty much the same. AI consulting, they actually go into a little bit more detail about what AI consulting might mean. It might be an assessment or identification of AI opportunities, a strategic roadmap for AI integration, or something that I do for clients all the time. Data analysis and visualization, we saw that in the 01 Premier. Here it gets into a little bit more information for you: data collection and cleaning, advanced data analytics to uncover insights and interactive dashboards and so forth to actually get the results out of the AI platform. I think that's a lot of good information that was not included in the other results. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see that it's generally a more robust, more complete, more descriptive plan. And I'm going to kind of scroll down to what I thought was kind of mind-blowing relative to the others. Because ChatGPT 01 is known for its ability to do math, right? It actually did some math for us down here and did a pretty detailed description or rendering of the costs over time. So this is kind of nice, just kind of going off with expense categories, but it gave us some nice tables that ran per month, detailed information per month. And it assumes here correctly, for example, in the next to the last column to the right, recurring revenue, $0. You're not going to get any recurring revenue for a period of time. It does assume that you're going to get your first project, the middle column there, your first project in the first month. I think that's crazy. Unless you already know someone that you're going to start working for in your first month, no one gets their first client in their first month generally. But it's nice that they assumed they pushed any sort of recurring revenue out several months, because that does take a while. You have to do a project or two before someone's going to retain you to do the recurring work. Now, there's actually a math error in this that I was trying to figure out how they came up with. If you can see down there at the bottom right, $116,000 of revenue in year one versus the $20,000 from the ChatGPT 4.0 model and I think it was $16,000 or something like that from the ChatGPT 01 Premier model. This is $116,000 in the first year. Well, gosh, I should start this right away. But there's actually a math error in this, in that it assumes that the client counts that we see, number of clients that we see in the second column, those are generating projects every month. So as you add one client per month, you would normally be adding one project because that's a new client coming on. However, the way this math works, and it works incorrectly in my view, is that it takes the total number of clients each month and gives them a new project each month. You're not getting $1,500 per project out of 6 clients in month 6 and then 7 clients in month 7. That's just not correct. So pretty clear error, computational error on this. So you can't use these things and just think of it as a finished product. There's the same information for year 2. I'm not going to go into detail here. They're projecting year 2 revenues of $346,000. That's crazy. It is not impossible if you're a great salesperson and a hustler in terms of generating leads and selling and then executing. But it's clearly a result of that math error. We had other projections in the 4.0 result that was $120,000, and in the 01 Premier result we had something like $48,000, I think it was. So clearly $346,000 is a huge amount. Anyone would want to get into this business immediately, but if they did so based upon the ChatGPT 01 mini business model, they would be, I think, sorely disappointed because of that math error. So enough on that. You just have to be careful when you're using these. Always check them for reasonableness. So that's really it. I was impressed by ChatGPT's mini solution. It was from a completeness perspective, way more complete than the other two, but it had a massive computational error in it. So again, take this stuff with a grain of salt. Use it as best as you can, but I would definitely explore the mini version if you're looking for something that's more complete, more robust, and more thorough. So I'm going to do a similar video for a personal request, a personal prompt rather than a business-related prompt. I'll link that video here when I publish it. If you got some value out of this video, I'd very much appreciate a like. That helps with the algorithm and more people to see my content. And if you want to find your way back here in the future to learn more about AI solutions for small businesses and for personal use, the best way of doing that is by clicking the subscribe button. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.